Hi, today we are going to talk about lesson 2.6, which deals with angles formed by transversal systems. Sounds like a big word. We're going to talk about exactly what that means. For this lesson, you will be able to define and identify a transversal. You'll be able to identify angle pairs formed by transversal systems. So, first of all, what is a transversal? So let's fill in the definitions here. A transversal is literally a line that passes through two or more coplanar lines at distinct points of intersection. Okay? So, for example, we have lines M and N. The transversal here is line T. Okay? And line T passes through lines M and N at two distinct points of intersection. Okay? And these are those points. All right? And so, of course, angles are formed when that happens. So make sure you get down the image. You're going to need the image. See if you can use maybe a different colored pen to indicate or to highlight which one is the transversal. All right. And it says here line T is a transversal because it intersects both line M and N, but not at the same point. So at two different points. All right. So what angle relationships or angle pairs are formed by transversal systems? I'm going to move that down. All right, so each angle that is formed is either an interior or an exterior angle. So let's take a look at the little diagram here. So we have our transversal T, and then we have lines M and N, okay? Now, of course, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different angles that are made. 4 of those angles are considered interior. The interior angles lie between the intersected lines. So the interior angles fall into this little space here because interior means inside. And so 3, 4, 5, and 6 fall inside of the two intersected lines. That's why they're called interior. And so, like I said here, angles 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all interior angles. All of the yellows are interior angles, okay? And of course, exterior is the opposite of interior, and that means outside. So if you look at the 4 exterior angles, 1, 2, 7, and 8, those are outside of these two intersected lines. So this is the inside, this space here, and the outside would be here. Right, anywhere outside of the intersected lines, okay? So we have exteriors and then interiors. Okay, and again, the exteriors are angles 1, 2, 7, and 8. Each angle pair formed is either alternate or same side. What do we mean by alternate? So another word for alternate is opposite. So alternate angles lie on opposite sides of the transversal, meaning one will be to the left and the opposite or the alternate will be to the right. For example, 4 and 6. So they're both interior, but one is to the right of this transversal and the other is on the left side of the transversal. That's why they're alternate interior. Okay, these are alternate interior angles. Same with 3 and 5. 3 falls to the left of the transversal, 5 is to the right. 3 is to the left, 5 is to the right. Okay, that's why they are alternate interior angles. Same side angles, for which another word is consecutive. So if you see consecutive interior angles, it's the same as saying same side interior angles. So they lie on the same side of the transversal. For example, 4 and 5. So these are your same side or consecutive interiors. Notice they are both to the right of the transversal. Both fall to the right, and then 3 and 6 both fall to the left. So they are also a pair of consecutive interior angles. Okay, so just to recap that and to add some new angle pairs to that as well, let's go down here. Of course, you're going to take these notes. Alrighty, so corresponding angles. So corresponding angles are angles in the same position relative to the point of intersection. So if you notice where I marked All right, so these would be corresponding. Why? Because they're in the same place. This angle here is on the top left relative to the point of intersection. This angle here is on also the top left of this point of intersection. Now, corresponding angles, you can have one interior, one exterior be corresponding, okay? And typically that's what's going to happen. You're going to have one interior, one exterior that are corresponding. Another example of corresponding angles would be if I put this here and that there. So these two would also be corresponding angles because they are in the same position, the top right, relative to the point of intersection. Okay? Another example would be if I put this here and this here. These two angles would also be corresponding. Excuse me, sorry, you couldn't see that. These two angles are on the bottom left. So these would also be corresponding. Notice it's typically one interior, one exterior when you're dealing with corresponding angles. And then also another set of correspondings would be bottom right, right? So these would also be corresponding, the two reds. So bottom right, bottom right. Top right, based on the point of intersection. Top left, notice they're both on top of the intersected lines. Bottom left, bottom left. Okay, so corresponding angles, typically angles that are, not typically, but really are angles that are in the same position relative to the point of intersection and will almost always be, or even, I can even say will always be, one interior, one exterior, okay? Alternate exterior angles. So an alternate exterior angle are angles on opposite sides of the transversal. Exterior angles specifically, meaning they fall outside of this, outside of the two intersected lines, okay? So we have one alternate exterior up here, one down here. These are alternate exterior. One is to the left of the transversal, the other is to the right of the transversal, and none of them fall within the interior, making them alternate exterior. Alternate interior. They fall in between the intersected lines, so this space here is considered the interior. One is to the right of the transversal, one is to the left of the transversal. Okay, so interior angles are angles on opposite sides of the transversal, and they fall inside, alternate interior. Same side interior, we talked about that. So same side interior angles, sorry about that, sorry, are angles between the intersected lines. So same side interior is the key word, meaning they're going to fall somewhere in between these two intersected lines. And because they are on the same side or consecutive interior, they are both either on the left or on the right. Okay, go ahead and do the try it out yourself on the next page. Please don't leave anything blank. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Have a good evening. See you tomorrow. Bye.